How are you doing? I had to tell you about one of those kind of like an idea that you might get, but you don't know if it's from the king. So you go through with whatever you think, because you think it is from the king, so you do it. Well, my last video, I did exactly that, and the title just came to me out of the blue. Zombie apocalypse. Is it now, or something to that effect? And the video was about, zombie heads, from whatever they've been hypnotized into, like doctrines of men that make sons of hell. So I was just saying that might have already started a zombie apocalypse, and well, finished the video, started loading it, and all of a sudden we went on YouTube to see a new video, and it's talking about CDC released a guide on how to deal with a zombie apocalypse. Wait a minute, I didn't know that you were on that kind of timing. So sometimes when you're working with the king, and he'll just show you things that are like, wow. Because my timing was better than the Dennis Prager show today, which I wasn't even realizing came with the happy hour. And after I did my King's U versus Prager U video, and boy, I've never heard a more unhappy sounding Dennis on his Dennis Prager show, but I don't think there's that many views already. I think it's got 2, so I don't know, but maybe word's spreading somewhere. I don't really understand it. It seems to me a little shaky around, and I'm just trying to keep the charge going, and I don't want to deaden my battery or do anything, but I do want to just let you know that if you're working with the same king, he might show you things that will suddenly come up in the news. It's like, wow, that's wild. So just get on the same page with him, and then when you're working with him on the remnant side, and well, you don't have to worry about too many things, because you'll be part of the protected ones, because you've already battled for the king. And well, if there is a zombie apocalypse, well, good time to clean out your mind and maybe just get off grid for a while, so that Obama Flex hypnosis can get rid of your hide, or however that might work, because maybe some of these Black Mirror shows have more to them than we think. So it might just be a good idea to focus on your king and talk to him about what's coming and all of these things. And if he tells you about a zombie apocalypse, and you just spread the word like he said, and then all of a sudden you see it in the news, well, then you know that guess you're working with the king, because I don't think the prince has got all these things figured out. And I know they're not working for that king, because I'll tell you what, if false prophets are popular, well, I'm far from one of them. But it's all good, because that's all part of the plan, because, I used to really stress about doing these kind of things with my hair all ugly and my car not so clean, but now I just can't get enough of it, especially when I get to challenge falsy liars who I've been listening in churches for 2 years, 4 years, many years, not just 2 or 3, actually most of my life. And I've always wondered, wait a minute, if these guys are lying, well, doesn't the Bible say that not all should teach, because teachers will be judged harsher, you see? Well, I'm not worried about being judged, because I don't claim any accreditation besides actually just looking at what the word says and studying it. And when I see the king and he's coming, I just want to spread the word. But, if you don't understand these things, well, I don't know what to say to you, because it seems like it should be all really clear. But maybe that's part of that zombie apocalypse. So I didn't realize I had such a sudden news update, but I guess I knew that, yes, the zombie apocalypse is even coming according to the CDC. And, well, they have been wrong on a few things, or was that part of the plan with the mask-induced pneumonia? I don't want to go too deep, because I don't trust any of these men who like to act like they're kings, like our president, who was a great apprentice actor, but only a bankruptcy king, and now we have a peso, not a dollar. But still, many in Washington love to talk about the value of a dollar. I think it might be less deceitful to live in Mexico soon, with organic food now everywhere, and a peso that's been a peso for a long time. Well, it hasn't had much value, but there's not much difference in the dollar in that pretty quick. So at least you'll get money for organic food there, and not fake poison in most restaurants here. So if you just look at how things are going and how things would be for the king, then it seems like it's going to get a little easier as things move on. If you're on the team with the king, on Revelation 7 style, and not drinking some of that false teacher Kool-Aid, which could turn you into one of those spiritual zombies. So let's stay away from the zombie Kool-Aid and beware of Obama flicks, because there might be a reason you're so sucked into those shows that you need to watch every week. It's like a drug that just hypnotizes you until you miss it again. So, good news. Well, at least got the same news from the king, so this seems like at least the page that I'm on is not so crazy after all. So just keep aware, and if you want to be an agent with the king and the original intelligence agency, which I hope y'all are quite busy, as you have been, doing the most important thing, talking to that king. So that's pretty much what it's all about, especially as the apocalypse of zombies nears and everybody's getting ready for World War Z, but half of them are already zombied into it mentally. So let's not be part of that crowd, because it seems like there's many already joining up, and I think it's better to get that remnant with the king. So have a nice day, and thank your king for this beauty in the ocean that still has water in it, but not too much longer, as the faux liars come to light. And, well, if that light in you is dark, how great is that dark what we're about to see? So just kind of separate yourself from that darkness, and not my cigarette smoking, you see. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the darkness of the heart that comes from deceptions of doctrines of men that make sons of hell. And I don't like to promote any of these things. So if you're upset with my smoking, better check what the Pharisees were doing, how they, pointed at all the sins of others so nobody would notice their self-righteousness. And the king did say, unless your righteousness exceeds those Pharisees, well, you'll have no part with the kingdom. And that could relate to all these Christians who don't want to be here for a king. So, news update. Zombie apocalypse coming. Get ready. And get your heart right with the king, because you don't want to be a spiritual zombie. That would be a bad start, as the Sino de Satan has light shining on it real soon.